Cool, so welcome back. In this video what we're going to go over is how to build out our 4 different ad sets and 4 different adverts per ad set. Really quick recap, as you can see here we have 4 different ads per ad set, and we're going to have 4 ad sets per campaign, and that one campaign is going to be designed to just do one thing. It's got one objective and that's it. That's kind of how we work that out, is one objective, and ad set is how we're going to make that conversion, and the ads are kind of how we test the subtle differences in each one of those conversions. Now I've written out 4 advertising pieces of copy. In this particular campaign I'm going to be testing long form post copy, and I've got a story based post where I tell a story about how I started writing proposals really fast and how our conversion rates went up. I've got a how-to post, which basically tells people how to do the exact same thing they can find out on the training. This is taken from a Frank Kern training I did, where he says, you know, people are more likely to believe that you can help them when you've actually helped them, which is a mad thing to think. We've got our counter ad as well, which is kind of just like breaking a bit of a pattern. Most people think that it takes ages to write a marketing funnel proposal, and I'm going to explain to them that it doesn't. And finally, a straight offer basically says, hey, this is what we're getting, this is what we're giving away, this is what you can get. It's a marketing funnel proposal template, all the different worksheets and stuff, and we're going to test them. Now also what I want to do is test the images as well. And we're going to have fairly similar images for each ad set. The copy changes slightly because I want to test, does a picture of me work really well with a how-to ad, and does an advert image work really well with a straight offer ad? Okay, so lots of different things that we're testing here. So over in Facebook, I'm going to come over to our asset library, click on my ads manager. I've already built the audience, remember, this is a warm retargeting to try and close that gap, try and target people who have visited the site but haven't signed up. And just before we build a new one, I'll give you a live example of ad sets compared to ads, compared to campaigns. For example, this, we'll use this one here. Which is no longer active. It's just something we were testing. March webinar funnel niche. We've got a new webinar coming out on building out funnels. This is in March. If I click on that campaign, you can see all the ad sets for this campaign. So the objective for the campaign was to get sign-ups. And what we did for all these different ad sets is each ad set then targets a different interest. So it actually goes after a different audience. So every single one of these ad sets, when it loads, goes after a different audience. Just wait for this to load, maybe because I'm streaming at the same time. Here we go. So you can see here that I've got global, so this is across a global audience, individual audiences, and that's targeting one particular interest. So for example, Napoleon Hill generated 46 link clicks at roughly 7 pence per click, which is fantastic. Like, I was really happy with that. Some of the others were a lot higher. Jeff Walker, for example, was 2 link clicks at 18 pence a click. That's pretty good. 5 pence a click for people interested in content marketing, so a nice low one there. The reason I've done it like this is because I wanted to test out different audiences for cold traffic, but we're going to be doing remarketing. And then what I'll do is, if I click on this one particular advert for Jeff Walker and then come to my ads, you'll see that the individual adverts, this is where we now break it down to the copy. So the copy is all the same. In this one we tested 6 different images, and you can see that actually they had roughly the same amount of impressions, but actually this one here, which was just a photo of a whiteboard, had way more impressions. We spent 35 pence. It was 18 pence per click. So it worked out pretty well. You know, I think if we'd left that running a bit longer, it would have been good. We would have got some good results from that. But we can see here that all we've done is we'll copy these same ads per ad set. I'm going to be doing it a slightly different way, excuse me, in our other advert, because we're going to be having different copy per ad set. But yeah, ultimately that's kind of how that works through. So the ad is the actual copy in the image that you want to use. Typically your ad set is who you're targeting. Pence. Sorry. Yeah, Jamie Hill. So pence is the equivalent of pennies. So yeah, 100 pence makes up a pound. Yeah. Yeah, so 100 pence. We call them pennies as well sometimes, but 100 pence makes up a pound. I hadn't thought of that. Cool. So we're going to create a new campaign here. Click create just here. Now for this particular one, I'm actually going to be driving traffic back. We've been trying different methods, and to be honest, we're still working out which works the best. For this particular one, I could go lead generation or I could go conversions, but I'm actually interested in traffic at the moment. And what I'm going to do for the campaign, I've actually already written out my campaign title here. I like to write in Evergreen Leads Campaign, Warm Traffic, Funnel Proposal Training, March 2018. So that tells me pretty much everything instantly that I need to know about the campaign. Now, I'm not going to do split tests just yet because I'm going to come back and try that on another video. But for this one, I'm going to be building out some ad campaigns. I'm going to click Continue. So the first thing we do is we now build an ad set. Now over time we're going to build multiple ad sets. This particular ad set is going to be what we call our story advert. Okay, so this is going to be telling our story-based content. I'm going to be driving them to a website. Here's where we start getting clever. Now again, we're going to be trying messenger stuff as well soon. Yeah, we've got tons and tons of different things that we want to try out. Story advert. And again, we can create multiple new ad sets, but just for this example, I actually want to go through this at individual stages, and we can learn how to do it faster and easier in other videos. Why do you keep reverting back? Okay, there we go. So I'm going to use a saved audience, and this is going to be warm traffic. Now, custom audience, sorry, there we go. Pixel, warm traffic, not a lead. So because it's, sorry, yeah, of course it's a custom audience that we've already built. And I'm going to use everyone in all these locations. So this is going to be across the world. I'm not too bothered about age, I'm not too bothered about gender, I'm not too bothered about languages. Now Facebook says this is too specific, that's fine. I'm going to be leaving this to run in the background to anyone who visits my site over time. That will probably become a bit broader, but at the meantime I'm just going to be leaving it for anyone who's specific. And if I find that I get loads of people, like loads of bots or loads of visits from like Russia and India and the Philippines and stuff, which typically don't convert for us, I might turn that off, but for the time being I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to have it as pixel, warm traffic, not a lead. Now if anyone has a better way of doing this or knows a way that this doesn't work, that's absolutely fine. I'd love to know, you know, I'm always trying to learn with this kind of stuff, but this is just how we're doing it and how we're testing it at the moment. I want to edit my placements because I don't necessarily want them where Facebook wants them. Right hand column's fine, instant articles fine, feeds are fine, messenger is fine. I'm going to try Instagram feed. We'll try it in Instagram feed, we'll see what happens. Typically Instagram converts very well, obviously on mobile, but I'm not sure how this landing page will convert on mobile. All mobile devices, yep, no worries. And here's where we can get clever. I want to start and end date. Run my ad continuously. Here's what I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to say a daily budget of £10, okay? So this means that I'll be spending 70 quid a week. Now I happen to know that our conversion rates mean that if I get what I think I'm going to get, this should at least break even. Worst comes to worst, and it doesn't, I'll turn it off, okay? Super simple. And I actually want to change this to link clicks because I want to set pay-per-click as the charge. Okay, they do, a lot of them charge per impression, and for the time being I just want to pay for link clicks. And I'm going to set a bid cap because Facebook's going to say, oh, you know, you want to spend £2 per link click. I do not want to spend £2 per link click, so I'm actually just going to put 40 pence is going to be our bid cap for link clicks, particularly for retargeting. And again, if I need to increase it, that's absolutely fine. If I need to decrease it, no worries. And I'm just going to leave it. Delivery type, I'm not going to worry about too much for the time being. Let's click continue. And this is where we begin to build out the ad. So we're going to have multiple ads. This particular ad name is going to be, excuse me, story ad. Traffic. But why not? $2 a cost per click is killer. Yeah, like this is the funny thing. In some respects, for our insurance customers, $17 a click. They're like, oh my god, that's incredible, we'd love to get $17 a click. But for this particular remarketing campaign, I'm going to keep it super low, and I'm going to see what happens with it. We found that some of our campaigns, we can get clicks for 5 pence a click, but they convert really poorly, and if I bid a little bit more, they convert a little bit better. So multiple different ways that we could do that. So I'm going to now upload some images. I think I might have some images already that might be suitable. I want a picture of me, I want a product shot, I want a stock image, and I want an advertising image. Let's look at our ad images. Let's see, there's a picture of me. Let's use this one. And we'll also upload some images, because I want to upload the marketing funnel proposal, and I'll also upload these ones as well. This one is the story ad, so I'm going to remember to use this one here just while it's uploading those. And I want to unclick some of these. So I don't want that one. I don't want that one. I don't want that one. Well, let's choose a stock image. Oh no, let's go to image library, because I think I've uploaded some stock images that I quite like. Here we go, here's one that looks sort of proposally. And I'm going to click done, and what that's going to do is build out those adverts with those 4 different images. And I'm actually going to look here where it says desktop newsfeed, and this is where I'm going to test. So the URL, let's grab this first. And I also want to make sure that the display link is the same. I'm just going to remove the HTTPS bit. And just while it's building that out. Now I've pre-written everything here. So this is the entire advert. Right? I know it seems really long and it seems a bit mental. I'm actually going to put this in the text here. And I'm going to place this down here as well. Delete that. Now it's interesting because I get quite a few kind of messages and emails and stuff, and people saying, "Oh, you should do this, you should do that," and I'm constantly looking for ways to write up and improve my process. But also a lot of the time, it's stuff like, "Oh, you should do it like this," and I kind of think, well, fine, but I'm also testing it. Like, a lot of people are really hesitant to test, and that's, to me, the best thing that you can do is test. That's all you can ever try and do, is test your content and your funnels as much as possible. So that's fine. My headline's there. The newsfeed description, it's already taken from the website, but I'm actually going to change that slightly, and I'm actually going to just take this in our ads manager, and I'm going to put that in there, and that'll cut it off. There we go. So how to write, I might get rid of these here. Marketing funnel, monthly retainer proposals without the pain of spending hours working on pricing and prosing. Conversion tracking, Facebook pixel. Let's choose our sell your service pixel. And that's pretty much ready to go. Now you can see here that what I can do is see the different way that it's going to look. I can write in time marketing proposal fast. I can write in time a marketing proposal fast. Do I want to double up on that? Maybe I want to get rid of. This is why we have a look through. So here, I'm actually just going to delete this here. I used to dread writing funnel proposals. So now when I go back and test these, you can see here, I can write an entire marketing funnel proposal fast. I used to dread writing funnel proposals, yep. Writing column, I can write in time on, I used to dread, yeah. Because remember, we're going to be testing a bunch of different types, okay? Instagram captions, obviously not going to work, fine. Let's not have Instagram then. Feature phone, yep. Mobile newsfeed, cool. Let's try this one. And like I said, it might not work. This might be an absolute disaster. People might not connect with this at all. But I want to just keep testing and keep trying things. And for the sake of like $70, I just kind of think, yeah, I definitely want to try that. And I'm going to click confirm. And that's now our remarketing advert ready and waiting to go. Now, I might have done something wrong, and I like I said, I'm not an expert. I'm still learning this stuff myself. So if this is incorrect, please just let me know. Here's what I can do now that's quite cool. I'm actually just going to click I can duplicate the ad, that's fine, but actually I'm going to do it a slightly different way just to show you the way that I learn, and I'm still testing out some of this stuff. So while that's working, I'm just going to click here and come through to ad sets, and I'm going to duplicate the ad set. So I'm going to click that there, just select it and click duplicate, and I'm going to say that I want to duplicate it 3 times. Looks pretty solid. Jamie Hill says, thank you very much, Jamie. Well, we'll find out, won't we? Original campaign. Yeah, keep it in the original campaign, not into a new campaign, and I'll duplicate it. And what this is going to do is copy this 3 times, so I'll have the 4 different ad sets running. And if you remember, we're going to have an ad set that's based around a story, an ad set that's based around a how-to advert, an ad set that's based around a counter, so like a myth buster, and an ad set that's based over a straight offer. Almost all of these images will be the same, except for the advert image. The text is slightly different, but we'll be able to then test that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to unselect this, because Facebook I find is a bit funny when it comes to like building out this little like piece here. So I'm actually going to just click edit here when it lets me. Here we go. That we will, Jamie. Yeah, that we will. And basically, I'm just going to come through and now edit every single one of these ad sets individually. Now, I'm going to keep the audience the same because it's the same remarketing audience. But I am going to change the ad set name. This one I'm actually going to do as our how-to ad. Keep everything else the same, because I'm going to be changing the advert slightly as well. So if I scroll down, you'll see that it's kept the budget exactly the same. So again, it will just be, I'll be spending potentially £40 a day. But again, I can always switch things off. I can reduce things. I can edit them. You know, I'm not worried about that. Location's all the same, you know, in that there isn't a location. Just for the sake of ease, I'm just going to turn the feed off on this one, on Instagram. And I might go back and edit that on the other ad as well, the other ad set. And click. Okay, that's that. Excuse me. Oh. Because what I want to do now as well is go into the actual ads themselves and not publish them just yet, because there's still the story ad copy. So I'm going to close this down here. And you can see I've selected how to adverts when I come through to ads. Now there might be a slightly smoother way of being able to do this, you know. And I'm going to come through and see here it's created the story as it's duplicated them multiple times. Maybe there's an easier way to do this, you know, I don't know yet. And I'm happy to learn, you know. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to take my new copy, and this is going to be the how-to ad. So we're challenging you to write a full marketing proposal in under 13 minutes. Take this, copy that, come up to our ads manager, and everything's going to be the same except the text and one image. Now I could actually add some emojis and stuff in here, but for the sake of speed, I'm actually not going to be doing that just yet. I might do on some of the others just to see. I'm going to change the headline slightly, and I'm going to take some of the copy from the page, and I'm actually going to take the copy from this page here and paste that in. Jamie Hill says, have you looked at Twitter marketing? Yeah, that's kind of funny you should say that, Jamie. It's kind of next on our list. We're having a conversation about it tomorrow, if that's something we want to start looking at, because I agree. They've dropped, and they have a pretty good conversion rate for traffic. So yeah, we are going to probably start looking at that. Now I want to make sure that I've got the different images. Add images. I think I've already uploaded a bunch, but that's pretty much how we're going to do this, and as we run through this now bit by bit, and ultimately that is our advertising campaign. I will probably come back to this in a month's time or even a couple of weeks time just to see what the results are on this, and in the meantime, guys, thanks very much for watching. Check out our other videos, and of course subscribe to our podcast, and I will see you on the next video. Cheers, guys.